Hello students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the lecture of BRM. Today we have got a very important and interesting topic of BRM, that is about theory. First of all, I should tell you one thing very important before going to that explanation, that some people believe that theory is not testable, theory is not able to be tested on research basis, and there is no relationship between theory and research. So you should know that they are completely wrong. There is parallel relationship between theory and research, or we can say theory and research are going side by side or parallel to each other. Without theory, we are not able to conduct research. Without research, we will not be able to build a theory. So you should remember this point at the start of this lecture, that theory is going side by side to research. Theory helps in research. Theory provides a lot of background for research, or we can say that theory is the root of research. This is how theory is very much important while doing research, whether it is business research, social research, scientific research, or any type of research, but theory plays a critical role in research. So now we should come to the definition and explanation of theory and what is goal of theory, how this theory relates to the research. Be with me. Theory. The theory has been used in different ways in context as broadly as to include all descriptive statements about a phenomena. Normally in general words, or commonly we are using theory is very broad. How we are using theory broad? Because there is a phenomena, there is a situation, there is a process, or there is a problem. So we say that theory includes all descriptive statements, descriptions, explanations, explanatory statements, descriptive statements about these situations. This situation happened because of that factor. These two factors are there. This problem arises because of that factor or that force. So all descriptive statements or all explanatory statements we are taking over there and we are calling it a theory. One explanation, very common explanation, but not a complete explanation. Or to exclude everything. In theory we are removing everything, we are deleting everything, but we are keeping only that a series of terms in their relationship that satisfies certain logic. But a series of terms in their relationship, series of terms, series of factors, series of forces. There are certain terms, there are certain conditions, there are certain factors or forces which are having a relationship to each other. Because of their relationship with each other, they have created that phenomena or problem or situation or a process. So this is called a theory. But when you are saying that this variable is dependent variable and this is independent variable, or means that this problem or this variable is caused because of the other variables, so this is a theory. But remember one thing, whenever you are explaining these things by words without any research, these words must fulfill certain logic. Your factors, your forces, you say this phenomena has occurred because of that, or this is the relationship between these forces or factors or terms. It should not be baseless. It must have certain logic. This is called a theory. This statement of the relationship of the variables or forces or terms must satisfy logic, then this statement is called theory. or coming to the bookish definition or simple definition of theory. So, theory, it is a formal and testable explanation of some events that includes how things relate to each other. It explains the relationship of things, but that relationship should be testable. If you are conducting research on it, if you are conducting scientific experiment on it, that must be testable. It's not like that it is not a theory that is not testable. It should be testable. If somebody is conducting test on it, that should come true finally at the conclusion. That is called theory. That it is a formal and testable explanation. Formally we are explaining which is testable, the relationship of different variables or the relationship of different factors. Now listen to me. Before going to the goals of theory, I will also explain something over there, but you should remember that at the start of BRM in first or second lecture, I have explained the scientific method. I have told you that we are using scientific method in the research process, if you remember. Remind it, please be quick. So, in scientific explanation, we said over there that before going to build up hypothesis, there was null hypothesis, there were alternative hypothesis. Before going to make a hypothesis or relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, we should come up with an idea. Like I have given you one example over there, that there is high turnover rate or employees are leaving the organization very quickly, high turnover rate is there. So we had taken an example, we have taken an assumption, not example, assumption, mafruza, that probably these employees are leaving the organization very quickly because of low salaries. So from where we draw this assumption? Obviously, being a research student, you studied different theories. You studied different explanations about the high turnover rate, and in some theories it was written over there that high turnover rate may be because of low salaries. So you saw actually theory provided you with the basic of the research when you are building up the hypothesis, the first step of your research. That's why at the start I have told you that research is impossible without theory. Whenever we are conducting a research, we are finding out the relationship between two variables. So from where the relationship, how we are assuming that there is relationship between these two variables? Based on theories. We are studying different theories. We are studying different testable explanations, descriptive statements of the relationship or co-relationship between different variables. It means that theory provides the root or basic of the research. Without theory, we will not be able to conduct our research. Because I have also told you that these terms and their relationships are explained with certain logic. Logic is there. It's not baseless. That's why we are starting our research from a theory. And when we are completing our research, again we are reaching to a new result. Again we are building up a theory. So now it's clear that theory and research are impossible without each other. How? Let's suppose there is a web designer, website designer who is designing website for a company, online company. So now he is using background color. You see background colors of different websites. He is confused. What background color we should select so that we can attract more and more online customers. Then he is studying different statements, different logics, different theories about the color effects, theories about the wavelength of different colors, how these different wavelengths are having impacts on the customers. Then finally he is reaching to a conclusion based on the theories that blue background color attracts many customers towards a website. So from where he come to this conclusion? Obviously he come to the conclusion based on the different theories about color effect on human psyche, wavelength and its effect on the wavelengths of different colors. There were different theories about it. So now you got it, how theories are able to solve our problems. Then what are the goals of theory in research or generally without research? Understanding and predicting. We are using a theory because there is a logic. We have studied that these are logic. It explains the logical correlationship of events. So these logical correlation or relationships between different events, it gives us understanding. And then when we are getting understanding, it helps us to predict something for the future performance, development and growth of the business. So first the goal of theory is understanding, then we are predicting our future, we are predicting the behavior of our customers, we are predicting the changing in the environment. I am giving you one very simple example over here, then our lecture will be finished at this point. But you should remember that don't miss any word what I explained over here. Listen to my video again and again and then write it in your own words. Understanding, I am giving you one example. The example is that let's suppose there is a finance manager. The organization is suffering from financial crisis. So he wants to predict the future. Now while studying different articles, studying different theories, what he finds out? He finds out that older investors, people who are having high age or old age, they are interested more in investment than the youngers, because youngers are having no experience and they are hesitating, they are afraid from investment because of risk. They are not risk taker. Old people are more risk taker. So now this finance manager, he is checking his database, that what is the number of old age investors and what is the number of young age or young investors. So then based on this theory that old people are investing more money, they are taking more risk than the youngers. So then based on this theory you can understand your organizational performance, you can understand the future behavior of your investors plus the future per year income of your organization or dividend of your organization. So furthermore, if you are conducting research, you have got this theory about the young investor and old investors, you can come up with a hypothesis, you are conducting research on it. So here when you are conducting research over it, from where you got this statement, this description or this logic, actually this logic or this statement was provided to you by a specific theory. So it means that theory first make you understanding a situation in correlation, and then based on the understanding you can predict the future of your business. So this was our today lecture. Stay at your homes, be safe, be with me for coming classes. Khuda Hafiz.